Mythposter syndrome.
Hello and welcome back to my series Bridging the Gap, where we make functional play guides to get you into the endgame. My name is Myth, and today we'll be discussing the support class, Bard. Bard is one of the premier support classes in modern content. It primarily functions by providing buffs and contributing to the party's overall damage. To perform its main functions as a support damage dealer, a Bard needs to have the following sets: a song potency and duration set, a melee TP set, a weapon skill set, and a fast cast set. I'll link a guide below that gives specific examples and more detail for sets to work towards. Bard is a job that is heavily influenced by its job abilities as they affect the potency, duration, and cast time of songs. The first ability we'll discuss is Nightingale. This ability lasts for 1 minute and it halves the casting and recast time of songs. This ability is often paired with its counterpart ability, Troubadour. Troubadour increases the song casting time and doubles the duration of the song effect. Troubadour also lasts 1 minute, and both of these abilities have a 10-minute cooldown. With proper gear and the mythic weapon Carnwinhan, a bard can get their songs to last the entire downtime of Nitro, and only have to reapply songs once every 10 minutes. Marcato is the next ability we'll discuss. This ability increases the effect of the next song you sing by 50%. Keep in mind, however, that this ability does not stack with Soul Voice. With Job Mastery, Marcato also provides an extra 20 seconds of duration to the next song. Marcato is often used with the song Honor March to enhance its effects and increase its duration. Pianissimo is another useful ability that allows you to place a song on a single target party member. This allows you to place songs like Ballad and Min on your tank or healer without the other party members losing an offensive song. The last two abilities we'll go over are Bard's two special abilities, Soul Voice and Clarion Call. Soul Voice is an extremely powerful ability that doubles the potency of songs. This ability is often so powerful that timed content like Sortie is often planned around its use. Clarion Call, Bard's second SP ability, allows you to increase the number of song effects you can apply by 1. Clarion Call is often used more liberally than Soul Voice because the song slot given can be maintained by refreshing the song before it wears off. Before we start singing, we need to balance song potency and duration. Song potency not only increases the potency of the song, but also adds 10% duration to the song. Because certain songs have more potency available than others, they will naturally have a longer duration. An example of this would be Madrigal, which can reach a +9 song potency. This will be an important concept when we discuss dummy songs. Before we discuss dummy songs and how to apply them, we'll mention some common songs used. Minuet increases attack and has a cap of +8 song potency. Madrigal increases accuracy and has a cap of +9 song potency. March increases magic haste and has a cap of +8. Min increases defense and has a cap of +9. Ballad grants a refresh effect and has a cap of +8. There are many other songs that can be useful at different periods of time, but these are the most common songs used to buff your party for new bards in the early endgame content. Before applying the songs that will affect your party during the content you're tackling, a bard must understand dummy songs. Dummy songs reference items like the Empyrean Harp Dour Dabla or the Blurred Harp +1, both of which grant additional song slots. These are used for what are referred to as dummy songs. They allow you to add a song buff slot to you and your party members, which can then be overwritten by an instrument that has song potency like the Relic Horn Gjallarhorn. A bard has 2 default song slots that it can apply. In order to reach 4 songs without the use of Clarion Call, the Dour Dabla is required. It is possible to put up 4 songs prior to having Dour Dabla with Clarion Call. However, if the song wears off or is dispelled, you will have to wait for the ability cooldown. If you combine both Dour Dabla or the Stage 5 Prime Horn Lunashed with Clarion Call, you can have a maximum of 5 songs at one time. When preparing your dummy songs, it's important to consider the order of the songs used. The song with the lowest current duration will be the song that is overwritten first, so here are some things to keep in mind for the process. The goal is to place the maximum amount of songs you're able to onto your party. You should always try to avoid songs such as pay-ons that don't offer a functional buff. The reasoning behind using real songs is to ensure that your time is being maximized. It is more beneficial to have a damage dealer that is currently fighting at a buff of 70% potency rather than no buff at all. The dummy songs can be placed with or without nitro. If you're singing without nitro, I prefer to sing in the order shown on the screen. This order allows marches to be sung at full potency during the downtime to ensure that the haste cap is reached. Once that is complete, I will use my nitro job abilities and sing in a different order. Valor Minuet 4 is one of the first songs I put up after nitro to ensure that it is also the first to be overwritten. Using the rotation that is displayed on the screen will ensure that using a specialized pianissimo song overwrites the least important attack song that you've given the group. Once the songs you've selected are on the group, it's time to specialize. Don't forget to ballad your mages and give further defensive buffs to party members if needed. You can also use songs like Madrigal to help members that need extra accuracy. If you're looking for more resources for how to structure dummy songs, I've linked to Velner's dummy song guide below. Another thing that a good bard has prepared is macros. After singing to yourself to give the party songs, a common problem is trying to pianissimo to apply a song to a single target. The standard target macro runs into a problem that happens when characters sometimes don't use lock styles or they change weapons. This causes the character model to blink. The character you're casting on blinks, it can force the song onto yourself instead of the intended target. An easy way to avoid this is to use either sub-target or sub-target alliance macros to target your party members. Make sure you use pianissimo, then select your macro and intended target, and this macro should work well for you. One thing you may have heard from other players is how gear and Rema dependent Bard is. Unfortunately, as a new Bard, there are a lot of gear expectations placed on you by the surrounding players. Over the next few minutes, I'll go over Bard's Remas, excluding the Prime, and how they will affect your gameplay and at what point in the endgame you should aim to have these items. Keep in mind that this section is purely my opinion and subject to much debate. Gellerhorn, the Bard Relic, is a significant increase to song potency and the first Rema I would aim for. This is the horn I would hope to have when tackling earlier endgame content like Omen, lower difficulty Ambuscade, and early wave Dynamis. Marcius is the next Rema I would aim for. Honor March is an incredibly powerful song that essentially rolls in March, Minuet, Madrigal, and Prelude into one song. This is the horn that I would aim for as you climb the difficulty ladder into higher level ambuscades in Dynamis. Some casual groups may be okay with bringing a 3-song Honor March bar to Odyssey segments, but make sure you communicate to find their comfort level. The next must-have Rema for Bard is Dour Dabla. Adding a 4th natural song is an extremely big boon to your party. I would aim to have this for harder content such as higher end segment groups, sortie, and getting into Odyssey bosses. The last Rema for Bard is just as important, but now instead of helping the party, it helps to preserve your own sanity. Harnwin Han extends the Nitro timer to exceed 10 minutes, allowing you to only sing during Nitro and minimizing the amount of legwork that you have to do. This is the last item that I would work towards when tackling the highest end content, like Sortie 8 or 9 boss and Odyssey higher vengeance levels. Switching gears, let's start moving into gameplay. One set of songs we didn't discuss is a Bard's utility in crowd control songs. Lullaby is a very strong song that can single target and AoE sleep monsters. This is especially handy when pulling mini monsters in areas like Omen or Odyssey segments. A good Bard will have a pulse on how much damage is incoming and sleep groups of monsters as necessary. Elegy is another very powerful spell that can be used to reduce a monster's attack speed by up to 50%. If a boss is susceptible to this song, it can significantly reduce the amount of incoming damage. The Threnody line of songs is also very important to be familiar with. Threnody reduces the magic evasion of the monster you cast on to a specific element. This is incredibly important on fights like Ammonon, where it can mean the difference between winning and losing. Trinity can also increase a group's damage if your party members are using elemental-based weapon skills. An example of this would be if your group's Corsair uses Hotshot and Sortie. A Fire Threnody would significantly increase their damage. The last defensive spell I'll mention is Finale. Finale is a light-based spell that is very handy to get rid of pesky buffs enemies may have. Being aware of enemies and what buffs they have, and removing them in a timely manner can greatly increase your group's efficiency. Now that we've discussed what the songs do and how to place them, let's discuss how to choose the songs to use for your party. Keep in mind there are several songs that I did not mention specifically just for the sake of time. A typical song rotation for 4 songs will be what I already mentioned, 2 marches and 2 minuets. Things get a little more complicated when adding a 5th song, and more so if you add aria to your arsenal. In content like Odyssey and Sortie, you'll likely be using 5 songs most often, so the determination for the 5th song will rely on the role, where you are, and communicating with your party. Areas like the first floor in Odyssey or upstairs in Sortie, a 3rd attack song often isn't doing you much, if any good. With items like the Nightling and other buffs like Chaos Roll, it's relatively easy to reach the desired attack to monster defense ratio, meaning a 3rd minuet will not actually give you much of a damage boost. Options to fill that 5th song could be things like Herculean Etude to boost your party's strength and weapon skill damage, Knight's Min to allow your party more survivability, or Aria if you have access to it. As the Prime Horn becomes more common, an inverse problem begins to occur, where Aria is used in areas that it is not benefiting the party. Examples of this would be things like Basement Sortie when Soul Voice is not active, Odyssey bosses where Defense Down isn't as available, or higher level segment farms where jobs like Samurai with lower native attack cannot make use of the benefit from Aria. In situations like this, a 3rd minuet may indeed be helpful and may be up for consideration. If you're looking for more information about physical damage limit and Aria, I've linked Hegma's Lunashade video below, which outlines the stat in more detail. The last consideration is the specific buffs you have placed on your party members. If your tank is taking too much damage, place a min. If you yourself are using the TP offhand dagger while playing Bard, Pianissimo to place a magical on yourself is often worth it. And as a baseline, your healer should always have a ballad. Here's what I consider the priority list for buffing your party. Enough haste from marches or other sources to cap attack speed would be number 1. Enough accuracy to hit the monster from either Honor March, Madrigal, or other sources is also very important. Increased attack from minuets to ensure you have a favorable attack to defense ratio. Defensive stats from Min, Carol, or Scherzo as needed. And finally, increased damage from Aria or Etude. As you can see, there are quite a few considerations when deciding your songs. Don't be afraid to discuss with your party what their preferences are, and just remember that practice makes perfect. Gaining experience in each type of content will give you more of an idea of what you prefer to do to optimize buffs for your party. As we come to an end, an important question still needs to be answered. If you can sing songs in just a couple seconds, what are you supposed to do for the rest of the time? The most common answer for the modern gameplay is simple. Swap your sub-job to Ninja or Dancer for the dual wield trait, and pretend you're a DD for the remainder of the time. Sub Ninja offers survivability from shadows, while Sub Dancer offers utility for you and your party members from things like waltzes, box step, and haste samba. It is very common for a bard to dual wield using the Nagling and perform very strong damage between songs. Just keep in mind, you still need to be ready to use your crowd control and utility songs like Finale and Lullaby as needed. An alternative, less common option is to sub White Mage to heal your party. This is more commonly used for earlier contents like Dynamis or Omen, or if you're low manning content. For information about healing, I recommend that you check out my White Mage guide. Similar to White Mage, a bard's overall function can be broken down into steps. First, make sure your party is appropriately buffed to the best of your ability. Second, make sure crowd control and debuffs that you have at your disposal are used to make sure that your party succeeds. Lastly, put on a cool sword or dagger and go out there and do some big damage. Just remember, if you get caught up doing damage and forget to sleep before the monsters and someone dies, you can always blame the tank. Always remember to come prepared to content. Bringing echo drops and remedies to make sure you can continue serenading your party is always important. Make sure you communicate when and how you intend to apply buffs with your group. This will make it easy for you when a DD, or in my case my sortie group's red mage, inevitably runs away and misses a song. It's times like these when I tend to say, too bad, so sad. But you can be a better bard than I am and keep your party going. That's it for today, folks. If you have any tips or tricks of your own, drop them below in the comments section. Thanks for watching and best of luck. If you enjoyed the video, stop by and say hi while I'm streaming on Twitch, or check out the Discord.